Alright, so boom. It's time for me to see what these down south rappers be talking about. Big Krizzle. He told us to call him K.R.I.T, we told him to change his name. The reason I decided to do one on Big K.R.I.T was because I watched his Dirty Glove Bastard off the Porch interview, and this interview was really dope, and it made me like and respect K.R.I.T as a person. So since I didn't know any songs by him, I was like, he would be a good choice to do next. I gotta remember to put this in the beginning of every Am I Sleepin' video. If a song is not included, it's for one of these two reasons right here. I already know the song, or I just simply didn't pick it because it's only 10 tracks. I'm saying this because every single Am I Sleepin' video I do, people be commenting, I can't believe nobody recommended this song. And y'all gotta know that just because a song is not in the video doesn't mean people didn't recommend it to me. It means I just simply didn't pick it. I only listen to 10 songs, y'all. I'm not listening to each person's whole catalog. Also, stop asking me to make a part 2 to an Am I Sleepin' video. I'm never going to do that. People be commenting on certain artists I've done saying, you should do a part 2 and listen to 10 more songs. If there's an artist that I answer a little bit or no to, but you want me to listen to more songs by them, then just hit me up on my Instagram or Twitter or something and tell me which songs to check out. But I'm not going to waste my time making a completely new video. For the people I say yes to, like Drake and A$AP Rocky, obviously I'm not about to make a part 2 to them. The point of this series is me asking the question, am I sleeping on this artist by not listening to their music? If I already answered yes for the first video, why would I make a part 2 that completely ignores the point of the series? I'm not trying to flame y'all, but y'all gotta start paying attention. When people ask for a part 2 on an artist I already said yes to, I'd be like, dude, do you know what the meaning of the series is? I'm not listening to their music for my health. I'm answering a question behind it. But let's get right to it, man. The first track I selected for my personal choice is called Bring It Back. I don't know if y'all heard it in the quality of the snippet that I just played, but this song just sounds hella old. And that's because it is. Bring It Back is from K.R.I.T's second mixtape, See Me on Top 2, that was released in 2006. But for some reason, I found that this song was also on his very first mixtape called See Me on Top, which was released a year earlier in 2005. On the first mixtape, he called it Bring It Back, like with an A, and on the second mixtape, he spelled it normally and called it Bring It Back. I seriously don't know why he did this because it's the exact same song. Anyway, I enjoy Bring It Back because it gives me old school T.I. trap music vibes. The song is just K.R.I.T talking about his worth as a rapper, as a producer, as a hustler in general. One thing I like that he does in this song, I don't know if it's K.R.I.T that's saying this or if it's a sample from another song like a UGK track or something, but there's parts where K.R.I.T would throw in worth a meal on the low as an ad-lib or to finish a line. For example, on the hook he raps, for the streets, bring it back, for the hood, bring it back, for the beat, bring a stack, for the track, bring a stack. The last two lines about bring a stack for the beat or the track, he's talking about his feature prices or how much he charges for a beat because, you know, he's a producer too. So he charges $1,000 for a verse or for a beat. But when he repeats the hook, he switches the last line to say, for the streets, bring it back, for the hood, bring it back, for the beat, bring a stack, I'm worth a meal on the low. So I'm charging $1,000 for a beat, but I low-key should be charging $1 million because I got that fire. Another example is at the end of the first verse. All the boys that used to doubt the K, doubt the way I rhyme, doubt the beats I made. Yeah, Bring It Back is definitely a nice early K.R.I.T song. He was spitting like this back in 05 and he's still rapping nowadays, so I already give him points for longevity. He shouted out Mississippi on this track too, and he really loves to just put on for his hometown. You gotta respect that. I'm hoping that his modern day tracks are just as nice or even better than Bring It Back. Let's find out. Recommended on YouTube by K Boogie is the song Some Days.
Some days I'm in the streets, some days I can't sleep, some days I don't eat.
Man, I immediately recognized that K.R.I.T was rapping over the Souls of Mischief 93 to Infinity instrumental.
This is how we chill from 93. This is how we chill from 93.
So I was like, man, please don't mess this up. You can't rap over a beat like this and do a bad job. Unfortunately, K.R.I.T did do a bad job. Nah, I'm messing with you. Some Days is one of those simplistic, but it works well kind of songs. The track is K.R.I.T taking you on a journey of the different feelings and emotions that he feels throughout his life. The reason I said simple but works well is because he starts almost every single line with, some days I feel like this, some days I feel like that. Every line is like some days, some days, some days, some days. It's really repetitive, but it's cool though, because a lot of lines are basic on the surface, but have a lot of meaning to them. Some days it's alright. Some days it was so nice. Some days it was long nights, cause somebody called my phone and they didn't say nothing. Some days it was all fight. For those of y'all who don't have any ops, like you don't owe nobody any money and things like that, that's some scary stuff right there. A random number calls you and when you answer, it's just complete silence. That will make you paranoid as a mug, like somebody is after you. But another thing that I like that he does here is that he takes accountability for his actions. Some people play the victim role and act like nothing in life that happens to them is their own fault, but not K.R.I.T. Like he's mature about his mistakes. But some days I was tripping. Some days I didn't listen. Some days I went missing. When you needed me more than you ever needed me, hope someday you forgive me. So here he apologizes for anyone he may have walked out on that really needed his support at a particular time. And he admits that he was tripping and wasn't listening to their problems. That's what I'm talking about. Like that's some mature stuff right there. But one of the best lines in this whole song is easily when he talks about white people judging him and being afraid of him solely because of his skin color. And he gives an example of what he means. Some days I'm a healer. Some days I'm a dealer. Some days I'm a killer.
White woman like a car doors when I pass by. Damn, some days I'm a nigga.
This is probably the best line in this whole song. After all of these examples, like you get the idea of how the song is. Some days it's a nice track with that smooth 93 to infinity beat in the background, and it's definitely one I would recommend for someone who wants to check out K.R.I.T. as well. Let's go with another YouTube recommendation then, because K Boogie gave me a dub. Recommended by Sim is the song Don't Let Me Down.
Some days I'm in the streets. Some days I can't sleep.
Don't let me down.
Now this song actually put me hip to K.R.I.T.'s My Sub series. K.R.I.T. has a storytelling series throughout his discography. My Sub Part 1 is on his Return of Forever project. My Sub Part 2 is on the same project that Don't Let Me Down is on, which is Live from the Underground. My Sub Part 3 is on the Catalactica project. And My Sub Part 4 is on Forever Is a Mighty Long Time. Now to highlight Part 2, not only is it on the same album as Don't Let Me Down, it's the song that's right before Don't Let Me Down, so they're back to back. And K.R.I.T. has said in terms of subject matter, Don't Let Me Down is a continuation of My Sub Part 2. But first things first, let me show some love to the production being done by K.R.I.T. himself. I love the guitar riff that's on here. The song is about not being let down by other people. He's speaking personally about himself, but you can take the song as being for you in your own life. There are people in K.R.I.T.'s life that he's counting on and he wants to see them win. So he's asking, no, don't let me down, I'm counting on you. And then vice versa. K.R.I.T. knows that he has some people in his life that look at him and count on him for things, and they want to see him make it, so he don't want to let those people down. My favorite part of this song, like other than the cool production I already pointed out, is the second verse, where K.R.I.T. explains that even though he knows he's going to have some haters the more money he makes, he's not necessarily mad at them because he understands that when you still poor and you don't have anything, it's very easy to be jealous of other people, and it bothers you that they're winning and you're not because you don't have what they have. I made some plays that I regret, but that's just how it be. I lost some friends, fucked up some money, but stayed on my feet. I did all I could for my city, but I had to bounce. I signed my deal and got more haters than I care to count. But I can't fault them for their feelings cause I know the scope. It's hard to celebrate for others when you die and poke. When it got to that part, I was like, oh yeah, like this nigga talking. Some people be so surprised, like, you know, why do I have haters, man? Like, I didn't do anything to anybody. I ain't did nothing to them but count this money and put my team on, got my whole clique stunning. Am I sleeping on Soulja Boy coming next? Hell no, don't play with me. But K.R.I.T., he understands why. Like, dog, you don't have to personally do anything to anybody. When people see that you got money and they don't have it, like, that reason alone will make them dislike you. We got another dub with Don't Let Me Down, man. Like, this man has no misses so far, and I hope we keep it that way. So let's keep it running. Next track recommended on Instagram by @NoLimitHD is the track Country Rap Tunes. This song was solely a Southern appreciation type of track. Southern rap is a subgenre of hip hop that has been disrespected for a very long time now. For my Lil Wayne fans out there, if you know the song Shooter by Weezy and Robin Thicke, that's one of the meanings of that song. As Weezy himself felt that rappers from Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, and all these other areas weren't getting their due diligence. Fast forward to K.R.I.T. on this song, he's saying, hey, for anyone who doesn't like, doesn't appreciate, doesn't respect or doesn't care for Southern rappers, well, fuck y'all then. This track is only for my fellow Southerners and people that can relate to it. Probably the biggest reason I like Big K.R.I.T in general and wanted to make this video was because of his Southern charm. So I was like, oh yeah, this song gonna be right up my alley. This for all my country folk, slamming them caddy doors. Like, this go hard, bro. It's somebody in the background, the beat going, ah, like, that's my shit. I love this song already. The song is pretty straightforward though, because like I mentioned, it's an ode to his Mississippi roots and telling people that they shouldn't be ashamed to be from there and that you should always rep your hometown, which is what he's going to continue to do throughout his career. I just want to be heavenly, I suppose, cause success never ever saved your soul. I came from the bottom of the map to show the world that is more to us country folk. Yeah. This shit is hard. Man, even the phone call with K.R.I.T calling one of his homies at the end just sounds cool because of their Southern accents. Hearing dudes from the South talk is so funny to me.
Yo, what's good, boy?
What's good, boy? What's happening with you, boy? I recommend this song for sure. This is one of my favorite songs in the whole video. I'll tell y'all that right now. Now, the next track, going off the name of it, I feel like it's about to be about the exact same thing as this song. But let's see. Recommended on Twitter from @EvanTravius1 is the song Cool to Be Southern.
We make it cool to be Southern.
Okay, now this is insane. So I was right. Cool to Be Southern is indeed about him shouting out his roots and saying that he isn't afraid to say he's a country man. He came up listening to people like 8 Ball and MJG and UGK to rep the South. So he's going to do the same thing for his music. And this time, I didn't really care for it. It may be because I listened to country rap tunes within the same short time frame. Like, I listened to this song the next day after I listened to country rap tunes. So it could be that. But even revisiting the song and listening to it as the days went by, Cool to Be Southern is a track that I don't care for that much. The song is cool with his flows and his production though. Okay, I'm straight up off my grandmama poach. Hollywood, never I took the southern night approach. Collard green pockets, but I southern fried the flow. Candy yam dropped with some cornbread to throw. I like how he used like indigenous southern foods to brag about the stuff he got. Collard greens meaning money, and cornbread to throw also mean throwing money, cause bread slang for money. That was cool. The second verse was tight too, like how he started it off was just smooth as hell. Now let me take you down this country road, country flow, country foe, country fire, 24s on the caddy, type 7. My player ways never fade. I got him from my granddaddy. Like the way this man be flowing over his own production, like man. By the way, you might as well assume that every song in this video is produced by K.R.I.T himself, unless I say otherwise. Because like I said, his production is worth a meal on the low. Cool to Be Southern has a really jazzy feel to it with the trumpets playing in the back, and there are some humming parts throughout the song too. Luckily, the humming doesn't get annoying though. I see why others may rock with Cool to Be Southern, but for me, the track didn't hit like that, and it's not because I'm not Southern myself, because country rap tunes is my jam. I can give it its props, but this was a song where after a few times running it back, I was like, nah, overall, you can keep it. Next up, we have our first song from the Forever Is a Mighty Long Time album. All I've seen this album get is praise on top of praise on top of praise. And for those of y'all who love this album, there's 3 songs in this video that are from this project, and I'm looking forward to them all. Next up, recommended on YouTube by Salad Tosser, that name is fucking ridiculous by the way, is the track Mixed Messages.
I got a whole lot of mixed messages in my song.
So K.R.I.T's Forever Is a Mighty Long Time project was a double album. The first 11 tracks were known as the Big K.R.I.T side, and the next 11 tracks were known as the Justin Scott side. Justin Scott being Krizzle's real name. And after looking at the track list, when I said that there were going to be 3 songs from this album in the video, I just saw that all 3 tracks are from the Justin Scott side of the project as well. First one being Mixed Messages. Now, this song is great. This song is damn great. It's a track about how K.R.I.T knows he goes back and forth between believing different perspectives on a lot of topics. There are a lot of things where he'll preach one message and say that he believes in this one philosophy, and then at another point in time, he'll preach another thing that's the complete opposite of the first thing he talked about. And it's to the point where even he admits that I just be feeling so many different things at different times, where I understand why somebody can be confused by the type of person I am at heart. The easiest way to explain this is by looking at the chorus itself. He starts by saying that he has these opposing themes and these contradicting concepts in his own music. And he's asking, is it wrong that he goes back and forth between talking about these different things? I got a whole lot of mixed messages in my songs. Am I wrong to feel this way? And in order for the listener to know what he's talking about, he gives some examples during the hook as well. I'm a revolutionary, although I'm free. I got me a lover, but I still want to cheat. I want to be safe, but it's the police. Don't want to be here, but I'm too scared to leave. A revolutionary is someone who fights for freedom, like for themselves, for their family, and fellow people. So K.R.I.T is saying that he is a revolutionary and believes in fighting for freedom, although he already is free and he isn't oppressed by anything. I got me a lover, but I still want to cheat. K.R.I.T has songs where he speaks about why having a lover is important. A significant other who's going to be there with you through thick and thin is a beautiful thing to have. But however, he also has his club banger type tracks where he's just talking about smashing a bunch of broads and having other girls. So that can be confusing. I want to be safe, but it's the police. Everybody wants to live in an area where they don't have to worry about a lot of crime and they can be somewhere without having to worry about their safety. And the police are the main people that help with that. Well, at least they're supposed to help with that. But he has his times where he sees the racism and he sees the abuse of power that the police have. So it's like, man, forget them. And lastly, I don't want to be here, but I'm too scared to leave. It's much of a darker note. When you're on hard times and you're not happy where your life is, you be ready to end it all and just go. Which he has talked about being depressed in his music as well. But then, of course, death is something that a lot of people are afraid of. So although this world is trash and sometimes you may catch yourself saying, I don't want to be here, that don't actually mean that you want to leave it. You're just saying that because that's how you feel at that time. That breakdown that I just gave you is what the entirety of this song is. K.R.I.T is talking about the contradicting feelings that he has in life and that he's aware that he makes music about these contradicting topics. And he says like, hey, that's just how I be feeling at that time when I make those songs. Mixed Messages is hands down one of the best songs in this video, and it's one of the best Am I Sleepin songs I've covered, period. The vocals kind of threw me off a little bit, like a little bit. He had that type of Eminem's Haley song type of singing, where it's like, honestly, it's not that good, but the overall track is so enjoyable and so meaningful that you don't care that the singing is not that good. Like when he holds out his E's, it's not the best.
But it's fuck the police. Don't wanna be here, but I'm too scared to leave.
I recommend the hell out of this track either way though. Let's hit another Instagram recommendation. From @Lorenzo.Robbins, we have the song Miss Georgia Fornia.
Mixed messages.
We got a love and hate relationship, I know.
At one point while I was listening to this song, I had tweeted, this Big K.R.I.T video is going to take a minute because I keep repeat listening to some songs instead of going on to the next one. And Miss Georgia Fornia is the main song I was talking about. What's that one meme of that boy that's like singing to the top of his lungs? Here it is. I was looking like this when I tweeted that. We got a love and a relationship, I know. I love this song. Now, the title of the song also means Mississippi, Georgia, California. And this is because K.R.I.T was born in Mississippi and he moved to Atlanta, Georgia to pursue his music career. The state that most people move to chase their dreams and whatnot is usually California or New York. So Georgia is K.R.I.T's version of California. But the song is also a double meaning and it's phrased as a relationship song as well. He's speaking to the state of Mississippi by saying things like, as long as I hit the road and break the mold, I never lose. I don't do this just for self, I do this all for you. Your mama, daddy, sister, brother, and your cousin too. This can be read like he's speaking to his woman as well. You know, I'm making this move to the A to chase my dreams because I want a better life for us, not just me. So that's dope in itself. Like when he says better life for us, he means him and his woman, and he means him in the South. Because like I said before, the rappers from the South stay getting disrespected. So he wants to make it big to show that Southern rappers really got it like that. Everything in this track is great. The flow switches, his voice, and the feature artist Joy kills it. She's the one that's singing the I know part that I love so much. Although I love her performance on the hook, during the bridge though, she kind of gets on my nerves. During the bridge, K.R.I.T sings, "We got history, and I know that means a lot, but you got skeletons in your closet, and they're piled to the top. We got jealous love, and I know that causes pain, but the sun don't shine the same, and those teardrops fall like rain." Now, K.R.I.T's vocals are perfectly fine, but after each line, Joy keeps talking like right after him, saying the same thing that he said, to the point where it's annoying.
You got skeletons in your closet, and they pile up to the top.
That's how the bridge sounds. Like, she says everything in that voice right after him.
We got history, and I know that means a lot, but you got skeletons in your closet, and they bow to the top. We got jelly love, and I know that causes pain.
I can't even lie. The first time I heard this bridge, I was like, Joy, shut the hell up. But hey, like, I guess it's a good thing she did that, because I do get a laugh out of it. I love Miss Georgia Fornia, man. Like, great recommendation from Lorenzo Robbins. All right, we got the last 3 tracks. From @Ariana_Soloma on Twitter, it's the song "Bury Me in Gold." So this is the final song of those 3 tracks from Forever Is a Mighty Long Time. And not only that, it's the final song on the album as well. So hopefully this was a great closer to an allegedly great album. After listening to it, although "Bury Me in Gold" is a nice track, it is the weakest of the 3 from this album that I listened to for this video. Mixed Messages and Miss Georgia Fornia are much better songs than "Bury Me in Gold." "Bury Me in Gold" is a track about K.R.I.T telling his fellow peoples that we should never get caught up in the materialistic things in life. He specifies gold throughout the entire song because gold has always been a status symbol, and a person who owns a lot of it, it just screams wealth. But all of that gold you can't take with you when you pass away. You're not going to be in the afterlife iced out with diamond jewelry and shit. So K.R.I.T believes people should be more focused on believing in a higher power and believing in something more meaningful instead of chasing the lifestyles of riches and gold and all the other things you can't take to the grave with you. Honestly, this song has a strong Sunday service gospel feel to it. And I feel like this is something that Kanye West could have made. Like, seriously, modern day Kanye or Jesus is King Kanye will make something like this. I'm not saying that's a bad thing at all. You know, shout out to Kanye Midwest. But it does kind of make me uninterested in the topic. I more so like the sound of this song more than what he's actually talking about. Y'all can flame me for this if y'all want and say, Amir, you need to get more in touch with your religious and spiritual side, man. Or whatever y'all want to say. But I'm not that interested in this topic. The second verse is actually a storytelling verse, and K.R.I.T beats the gold concept like into the ground here. He says the word gold like 17 times in this one verse. K.R.I.T tells us about a friend that he has that was a really good track star, so he was winning gold medals, but he threw it all away because he wanted to sell drugs, which K.R.I.T refers to as that gold dust. And after his friend got arrested and taken to court, they put the handcuffs on him, or them gold chains on him to lock him up. That's how the verse goes. Like, he tells the story by referring to everything being golden. He was selling that gold dust, so he got locked up in them gold chains. Like, it goes like that pretty much. For me, the highlight of this track is the production, man. Shout out to DJ Khalil. And the additional vocals from the people on the chorus, like, they sing so beautifully on here that I can totally imagine this song being performed live. Bury Me in Gold is an alright track to me because I don't care that much from the topic, but some of y'all may love this one. Let's go to the final Instagram recommendation. From @KK4, we have King Without a Crown.
What's a king without a crown?
I didn't know what I was getting into with this song at first. That very first line, he came on the track screaming.
Forever is a mighty long time.
Just that first 2 seconds right there, I was like, God damn, like, calm down, K.R.I.T. But King Without a Crown, like, not just this song, but the phrase in general. When people say stuff like this, like, if you're a king, then where's your crown? It's just asking someone that if you're going to declare yourself of a certain status, you got to have something to show for it. Like, how are you a ladies man, you don't have no bitches? Like, you got all niggas' phone numbers in your contacts talking about you a ladies man. Like, come on now. Like that. K.R.I.T is saying that his music and his legacy is going to be a thing that he leaves behind. And that's going to show that he was one of the kings of Southern rap. It's also in his name. Like, for those of y'all who may have never known this, the K.R.I.T in his name stands for King Remembered in Time. So in his name alone, he's telling you that he's going to leave a huge imprint on the rap game. Yo, like, this song, I had a feeling it was produced by K.R.I.T too, because it just sounded like one of his earlier career songs. The production sounds like a blaxploitation film. Like this part right here. I can imagine this beat playing in Dolomite or Foxy Brown. My favorite line in this whole song is, that pod, the pissy and turned into a house on hill. I'm talking 2 stories, no fabrication, that's a true story for real. I like that he took the simple concept of, I went from a dusty house in the projects to a nice ass house in a better neighborhood, specifically a 2-floor house or a 2-story house. And instead of saying, you know, I ain't lying, he says, that's no fabrication. To fabricate a story means to exaggerate and throw in a bunch of details that didn't really happen. So in this case, story means floors, like to his house. So he means like, I'm not fabricating my story. Like I'm not lying about the type of house I got. I'm really living large now. Like that was fire to me. King Without a Crown is another good song that I recommend. Just beware of that loud ass, forever is a mighty long time at the very beginning. If you got some bass and some thump in your car or in your earphones, then that's gonna hit hard. Now this final track is one that everybody and their mama recommended. So hopefully it's a banger to end this video off with. Recommended on Twitter from @WaterTowerIsBack. Is the track Mount Olympus.
Now they wanna hear a country nigga rap. 5 albums in, I swear a country nigga snap.
As soon as I figured out what this song was about, I understood why this track gets so much praise and is talked about as one of Crizzle's best songs. Mount Olympus is essentially K.R.I.T's response to Kendrick Lamar's infamous verse on the song Control, where Big K.R.I.T was actually the second person that K.Dot mentioned in that legendary part. And that goes for Jermaine Cole, Big K.R.I.T, Wale, Pusha T, Meek Mills, A$AP Rocky, Drake, Big Sean, J Electron, Tyler McMiller. I got love for you all, but I'm trying to murder you niggas. Immediately on this track, K.R.I.T comes out the gate saying that he's sick of people hitting him up about being name dropped by Kendrick. People running to him saying, "Ooh, Kendrick Lamar just dissed you on that song he got with Big Sean. Hey K.R.I.T, have you heard that new Kendrick verse that's making rounds on the internet? Like, he took a shot at you." In Mount Olympus, K.R.I.T finally snaps like, yes, like I've listened to the Control song. And first of all, he didn't diss me. None of the people that he named in that verse was he throwing shots at. You a dumbass if you took it that way. So stop asking me about it. On top of telling people to leave him alone about it, he does also touch on the fact that he was widely ignored in his career before that name drop from Duckworth. Of course, K.R.I.T already had hella projects out by that point. He had already been on the 2011 SXL freshman list with Kendrick Lamar, funny enough. But although he got some attention, people wasn't really rocking with him like that. But all of a sudden, after Kendrick name drops him in a song, it's a whole wave of people. A bunch of critics and fans want to pop up and say, man, like, I've been rocking with Big K.R.I.T. He's one of the rawest lyricists out right now.
I mean, it's just the confusion because it was so much negativity that came after the Control record. Right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people hadn't even heard of me as an artist, and it's just this wave.
And this was pissing K.R.I.T off, rightfully so. On this song, he was like, bro, none of y'all was showing me any love these past few years. But suddenly y'all want to act like big fans when y'all heard that Kendrick mentioned me. Like, get on with that fake love. There's even a part at the end of the first verse where Crizzle says that God Almighty El Shaddai himself can come down to earth and say that K.R.I.T is an amazing lyricist and is next up, and people still would have ignored him. I do kind of disagree with him saying this though, because literally right before this, he was just saying that nobody paid attention to him until the Kendrick name dropped. So it's kind of ridiculous to say, I could have got a cosign from the law and y'all still wouldn't have noticed me. Like, bro, yes they would have. But overall, he did snap in the first verse, and even this second verse, he went crazy, where he was criticizing rappers from the South that don't even try to be unique. They just bite the bars, flows, and cadences of other unknown Southern rappers, and they try to pass it off as their own material, to the point where it just ends up becoming a bunch of regurgitating BS from rapper to rapper. But these new rappers do this because they know it's an easy way to get a record deal and some money, to just do what other people are doing. The way he spit this was crazy to me. Overdose on hocus pocus, jibber jabber, snapper. My statue was fire breathing, dragon, king of every castle. How you sign the rappers? All these labels must be given out a raffle, rankling like cattle, keep a nigga shackle, leaving people baffled. Tap dance, nigga, misleading all of your rap fans, nigga. Might as well just do a lap dance, nigga. Sap ass, nigga, do whatever for some dap ass, nigga. That's my part right there. I was like, okay, King remembered in time. That's definitely about to be remembered by Amiri. Mount Olympus is heat, and Big K.R.I.T in general is heat, man. You damn right I was sleeping on this, man. Choosing to make this video was a great idea. This dude has several songs that I've enjoyed so far, and I already know that if I dive into his catalog, I'm gonna find more stuff that I enjoy. At the time of this video, K.R.I.T has 5 albums, 14 mixtapes, and 5 EPs, so I don't even know where to start. But I love that I gave this dude music a shot. Stop sleeping on Southern rappers. I'm telling you from firsthand experience on listening to Big K.R.I.T, this dude is an amazing rapper.
Outro, outro,